All right, go ahead and begin. Go ahead and begin. Doing our next problem. Oh, do you see the student that he's not going to be in it? He has a blue lanyard. He's in the orange shirt. He's not going to be videotaped. Yes. So should we start? Maybe wait. Yeah, we're about to start. Okay, boys and girls, we're about to start our lesson, so you can erase the whiteboards and we'll continue. But leave your whiteboards out because we're going to need them.
That's a lanyard, non-consent.
Okay. All right, 3, 2, 1, 0. I need eyes up here. Today our learning target is, let's read it together. I can solve different types of number stories. I can build my stamina by staying focused. Boys and girls, those are 2 learning targets that you're going to be expected to meet by the end of the lesson today. You are going to be expected to solve several different story problems that we have practiced, and you're going to need to build your stamina by staying focused. What does building stamina mean? Ian? Did everyone hear what Ian said?
Yes.
Say it louder, Ian. Even though you're tired, you're still going to persevere, and you're still going to build your stamina and keep working, okay? So boys and girls, yesterday we talked a little bit, and I want to see if you guys remember, we talked a little bit about the strategies we use when we solve word problems. I want you to turn and talk to your neighbor or your table. Talk about the strategies that we use to solve word problems. Go ahead and turn and talk. What strategies do we use? What do we use, Kimberly?
Ask for help.
Yes, we can check our work. What about you, Chastity? Good. What strategies can we use?
Math rack.
We can use a math rack. What else? We can use a 10 frame. All right, 3, 2, 1, 0. As I walked around, I heard a lot of different strategies that you use when you're doing math. Can anyone raise their hand and share? I'm going to record those because we need to think about that today. When we're doing our math problems, we need to think about those strategies and use those strategies. Nick?
Ask for help.
You.
And I know another.
Let's do that one first. Ask for help. That's a good strategy. If you don't understand, ask your neighbor for help. Kimberly, what else? Did everyone hear Kimberly? Check to see if it's correct. Go back and check your work. That's a good strategy. Excellent. Check. All right. What's our next one? Could you use your math rack? Okay, that's a strategy. You could use your math rack. Okay, what else? Chastity. Illustrations. Very good. What other strategies can we use, Philip? We can use our number line. We can use the math rack. We can use the number line. We can use illustrations. Anybody else? Ellie. Okay, you can use your 10 frame. Somebody over here. What strategies can Emma? Okay, did everybody hear? You can use your transition words when you're talking to somebody. First I did this. Next I did this. Then I did. You can use those transition words to help you talk about your work, to help you talk about it. I'm going to write that down. That's a very good strategy. Okay, and remember, we are not shouting out. Who else? Ian, what could you use? Mental math. But when you're doing mental math that's in your head, you have to remember, boys and girls, you have to remember to tell how you did it in your head. So that's a good one, mental math. And we'll take one more strategy that we can use when solving. Nick.
Check if it makes sense.
Does it make sense? That's a good one. I'm going to add to check, and I'm going to say if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, then you need to go back and ask yourself, this might not be right. I need to go back and check and see what I did wrong. So boys and girls, today I'm going to start off with the book. So all I need is your attention up here. Put your boards down and everything down, and all I need is your attention up here. This book is called, we're going to read this one. This book is called Roosters Off to See the World, and everyone is focused. No one has their markers out. So listen, because you're going to need to listen because you might need to record some things as I'm reading. Okay? One fine morning, a rooster decided that he wanted to travel. So right then and there, he set out to see the world. He hadn't walked very far when he began to feel lonely. Just then, he met two cats. The rooster said to them, "Come along with me to see the world." The cats liked the idea of the trip very much. "We would love to," they purred, and set off down the road with the rooster. So what do we have so far? Go ahead, and two cats have come, so you can record that. Two cats have come. Okay. And you can spell it as best you can. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Keep recording your data. As they wandered on, the rooster and the cats met three frogs. "How would you like to come with us to see the world?" asked the rooster, eager for more company. "Why not?" answered the frog. "We are not busy now." So the frogs jumped along behind the rooster and the cats. Okay, so now how many do we have? Keep going. Okay. After a while, the rooster, the cats, and the frogs saw four turtles crawling slowly down the road. "Hey," said the rooster, "how would you like to see the world?" "It might be fun," snapped one of the turtles, and they joined the others. How many turtles do we have? Okay, so now we're going to start with a word problem, boys and girls, and remember to use your strategies as we're solving it. While the rooster, why don't we all read this together? While the rooster was going off to see the world, two cats, three frogs, and four turtles decided to go with him. How many animals went all together? I want you to solve it. You can use anything in the bins in front of you, or you can use your whiteboard, any strategy you want to use to solve it. I want you to solve that problem. You're solving it by yourself first. Go ahead and solve it. I see some of you have pulled out your math rack. It's up there. You can go back and reread it. close. How did you solve it? What did you do? Awesome. Did you solve? Okay. How did you solve it, Sydney? What did you do? What did you use to solve? Did you do the math right too? Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1, 0. I want you to turn and talk to your partner about how you solved your problem. So everyone stop what you're doing and turn and talk about how you solved your problem. Go ahead and talk. Tejan, listen to it. How did you do it? You used your hands? Okay. How did you guys do it? What did you do, Andrew? You used a 10 frame? Okay. Okay, very good. All right, 3, 2, 1, 0. Can anyone share? What equation did you come up with? Who would like to share their equation and how they did it? Who would like to share their equation and how they did it? Shariah, why don't you share with us your equation and how you did it? Okay. Okay, and what tool did you use to figure it out? Your math rack. Okay, did everyone get the same answer? 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 9?
No.
Did someone else get something different? Raise your hand. We're not going to include the rooster though, so that might be where you fumbled a little. We're not going to include the rooster. So now let's continue. Okay, so I'm going to continue reading. As the rooster, the cats, the frogs, and the turtles walked along, they came to 5 fish swimming in the brook. "Where are you going?" asked the fish. "We're off to see the world," answered the rooster. "May we come along?" pleaded the fish. "Delighted to have you," the rooster replied. And so the fish came along to see the world. Pay attention. You don't have to record anything yet. The sun went down. It began to get dark. The moon came up over the horizon. "Where's our dinner?" asked the cats. Where are we supposed to sleep?" asked the frogs. "We're cold," complained the turtles. Just then some fireflies flew overhead. "We're afraid," cried the fish. Now the rooster really had not made any plans for the trip around the world. He had not remembered to think about food and shelter, so he didn't know how to answer his friends. And so slowly, I'm not going to finish the book, they started to leave because he was not prepared. So all the animals slowly decided to leave. Okay? So the last problem, you need to pay attention. I created an ending to this story. Once all the animals left, the rooster became very sad. He decided to go see the world again, but this time he was prepared. So he was going to go back out to see the world, but this time he was prepared with everything he needed. So here's the problem. Pay attention. Everyone pay attention. 12 animals decided to go with him again. While they were walking, some of the animals changed their minds and went back. Now there are 8 animals. How many animals decided to leave? Go ahead and erase your board and try to figure that one out. I'm going to read it one more time. 12 animals decided to go with him again. While they were walking, some of the animals changed their minds and said, "I'm not going to go anymore." So then now there are 8 animals. How many animals decided to leave? What is that question asking us? Can we figure that one out? Go ahead and see if you can figure that one out. You can read it to yourself if you need to read it again. Good. I see somebody setting it up. Do you want me to come over? Okay, so erase what you have. So it says 12 animals decided to go with him again. While they were walking, some of the animals changed their minds and left. Now there are 8 animals. So 12 started, but then now there are 8. Yeah, and see if you can figure it out. That's a little bit different one. See if you can figure it out. Make sure you tell me how you figured it out. Set up the equation and tell me how you figured it out. Make sure you have the equation. Okay, good. Is that addition or subtraction? Is it an addition or subtraction? Let's see how we're working over here. How are we doing? Show me how you did it. Show me how you did it. Thumbs up if you're still working. Thumbs up if you're done. Okay. Now, before we answer this, before we turn and talk this time, raise your hand, is this an addition problem or is this a subtraction problem? How do you know? Raise your hand if you can tell me, how do you know? How do you know that this is subtraction and not addition? How do you know, Ellie? Nice and loud.
Because there were 12 animals and then someone did change their minds, so I know it's subtraction.
Okay. Did everyone hear Ellie?
Yeah.
There were 12 animals, but then some changed their minds and went back. And so she knows that it's subtraction. All right, who can tell? Why don't we turn and talk about how we solved it, and then we're going to share out how we set up our equation. Go ahead and turn and talk. How did you solve it? What did you do? What did you do? Turn and talk about it. That's a good way. Now share with her how you solved that. You solved it in a really good way. Why don't you tell Tanea how you solved it? Did you? What was your answer? Can you write the equation? Okay, write it big enough so that he can see your equation, okay? Oh, that's backwards. Why don't you turn that around? Okay. Okay. Did we all share? All right, 3, 2, 1. I'm at 1 and 0. Eyes up here. Eyes are up here. Who would like to share what they did? How many of you did the part whole strategy? Who would like to share how they did that? That's a good strategy. How would you? Go ahead. Jenna, why don't you share what you did? She put the 12 as the whole. Okay, so she set up her part whole. I really like the way Jenna did. She set up her part whole and she put the 12 in the whole. And what else did you do? She put the 8 in the part. And then how did you figure out that missing number? What did you do? Did you guys hear Jenna? She started. Jenna, can you say that a little bit louder so everybody can hear? Did anybody else do that? She started at 12 on her number line and she hopped back to get 4. Did anybody else do that? Raise your hand if you had. So can you tell me the equation, Jenna? Minus, we didn't know, equals 8, and she found out that that was 4. Did anyone have a different way they did it that would like to share? Who has a different way? James, what did you do? How was your... You used an equation first? Okay, you used an equation. You set it up first and then you solved it? That's a good way. Did anyone do anything different? Nick, what did you do?
First I looked at the question. 12 minus 12, and when it was minus 7 equals 8, I automatically knew. My brain just told me instantly, like in 1 second, it was 4. So it was 12 minus 4 equals 8.
Okay, did you do the math in your head?
Yeah, only a little because my brain just shot out the answer really quick.
Okay, so you did the math in your head. That's a good strategy. We can use our mental math. All right, I'm going to stop here. So what I want you to do, boys and girls, is I want you to erase your boards and just leave them there, because we are about to break off into our groups. So I want you to erase your boards. Go ahead and erase them quickly. All right, and I need attention in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Eyes up here. Yesterday, as a group, we practiced doing different types of word problems because not all word problems look the same. So we need to make sure we read through them. So we practiced one yesterday. And this is one I did where I was adding 3 different things. I showed what I did. I wrote the equation. And then I even wrote mental math. I added 4 plus 3 in my head, then added 2 more to get 9. So I showed it, I wrote an equation, and then I told a little bit how I was supposed to do it. Today, you're going to use this form. You need to illustrate your problem, solve your problem, and then once you did that, you and your partner, by yourselves, you are going to tell how you did it. And you can use those transition words to help you get from one thing to the next. Remember, you need to illustrate, solve, and then tell how you did it. You're going to get a little bag like this, just like we practiced yesterday with practicing different problems together. You're going to get a bag like this, and what you're going to do is you and your partner are going to take the word problems out, and you're going to choose which of the 4 you're going to do this way. But then you have to choose one problem that you're going to illustrate, solve, and then write how you solved it, just like we practiced yesterday. Okay, we know how to illustrate, solve, and then write how we solved it. So yesterday, I illustrated 2 ways. I used a 10 frame to solve my answer, then I drew a number line, because that's another way you can solve it. I wrote the equation, 14 minus, I didn't know this, equals 7. I had to find the unknown. And then I said, first, I made 2 10 frames and added 14 dots. Next, I took away 7 dots because she only has 7 books left. Last, I found the missing number, which was 7. So I illustrated, solved it, and I told how I solved it. We're going to practice that today. You're going to do it in groups, okay? So now we're going to get into our groups.
That doesn't make sense, Mrs. Scott.
If you need some clarity, then you can just raise your hand after I show the groups. All right, group 1 is James and Luis. You will be group 1, and you guys can sit at the green team. Group 4, these are the groups that we chose the other day. Shariah, Sydney, and Catalina. Group 2, Emma and Chastity, the red team. Group 5, Nick and Andrew. Group 3, Philip, Ellie. And group 6, Kimberly and Ian. You will be at the purple team, red team, and then, I'm sorry, not the purple team, the blue team. And then the last group, Jenna, Tejan, Aiden, Paris, Tanae, and Krishu. Group 7, you will be up here with me. I am going to, groups, you can come and get your bags over at the table and get to your spots. It has your name on it. Louisa. Should I go work quick? Kimberly. All right, and I have my group here. And you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We should be at our spots now. We should be at our spots working. We should be at our spots. All right, boys and girls. let's go ahead and get started. Aiden, why don't you come over here and sit? Why don't you come over here and sit? And then Tanea, you can sit. All right, let's look. All right, and you guys can use any of the manipulatives to solve your problem. All right, listen up. Okay. You guys ready for the first one? I need your eyes up here. Eyes up here. Eyes up. Okay. Dad has, you want to try to read it with me if you can. Dad has 3 red ties, 6 blue ties, and 4 black ties. How many ties does Dad have in all? I want you to see if you can solve that one. You're going to use these boards to write your answers, okay? Go ahead and try to solve that first one. First of all, what kind of problem is it? Are we... Okay, I'll do it. Here's a paper for Catalina. Catalina? Go ahead and try to solve it. His sister. So go ahead and read it together. So go ahead and read it together. Okay. So why don't we decide which one do you think? Which one do you guys think? What can you guys agree on? What's something that you can agree on? Well, who chose first yesterday? Okay, then you can choose yours this time and then next time. Remember, you're reading it together first. Okay. The answer. Okay, go ahead. That's okay. Then do this one last and do the other 2. Yeah.
We have 2 of the ones. She chose the side last time.
We're going to do this one.
She chose the side to do.
Okay, we're going to do it this one, and then next time you can do it the other way. We're going to do this one this time. This one for this side. You can do this one for this side, okay? All right, did you guys figure out the problem? Okay. Did you guys think about what the problem was asking? Okay. So go ahead and start solving that problem. Good, you've already started writing. Oh, I like the strategy that you're using. Go ahead and first, why don't you draw and tell how you solve it? Or you can write the equation first. It's up to you how you're going to illustrate it. How are you doing it? What are you doing? You're doing tally. How are you going to solve the problem? Okay, what are you going to do? You're going to use tallies to represent each one. Okay, make sure you're getting it correct when you count to see how many, okay?
Done.
You're done. How did you do that? Very good. So then why don't you write how you did it underneath there? Good. So why don't you talk about write how you did it? Did you write it on your number? Go ahead. Well, write it in number 1, Tajon. Go ahead and write it. Go ahead and write it. It's just a clipboard that you're using. All right. How many of you are done? Raise your hand if you are done. You're done? Okay, so why don't you think about how you're going to talk about what you did. Think about how you're going to talk about what you did. Okay. You two can be partners. And Aiden, you can be with this group. So why don't you scoot over here? All right, now I want you guys to turn and talk about how you did your problems. Turn and talk about how you did your problems. What did you do? How are we doing here? Don't forget to turn and talk about how you did it. Okay, well, you know what? Why don't you turn and talk anyway? And then talk about what you did, and then you can go back to it. Are you guys turning and talking about how you did? Okay. So once you're finished, you can turn and talk. Why don't you read the next problem and see if you will be able to solve the next one?
Teenage next week, can I help them?
Sure. That would be great. Sure. What you can help if that. What is the problem that you're struggling with?
I finally figured it out again.
Okay. She figured it out. What problem are you working on? Go ahead and read it.
I realized it was 13.
How did you figure that out? And then you did. Okay,
But
good.
since I realized it wasn't 11 because it was 3,
You went back and changed it.
Oh yeah.
All right. All right. 3, 2, 1, 0. Are you guys still discussing how you did? Okay. Very good. How many of you figured out the answer was 13? Now raise your hand if you all did it a different way. Raise your hand if you did it a different way from your partner. Did you guys all get it the same way? Well, I saw, what did you use? I saw that you used 10 frame, and what did you do? You use circles to show it, okay? Let's look at the next one. Go ahead and erase your boards. Erase your boards. All right, we're going to do this next one. Okay. Are you guys ready? Jenna, everyone's looking up here in 3, 2, 1. Tanea, 0. Jenna has 10 toy balls. She lost 4. How many balls does she have now? What is that question asking us? What is that question? Balls. Balls. So what is that question asking us? Who can tell me what is that question asking us? Before you start, what is that question asking us, hey John? To subtract. Go ahead and see if you can figure out how to do that one. Go to the next one. Go ahead and figure that one out. So we have 10 toy balls and 4 of them are lost. So do it down here. Go ahead and figure that one out. Oh, Krishu has already started. Go ahead and keep going. Now, Tejan, show how you did it. How are we doing here? Okay. Did we share our thinking? Okay. Okay, I want you guys to stay over here. You to stay over here. Okay, let's read it together.
I want to help you. I just don't want to spoil it.
Well, you can show her what you did and see if maybe she got the same thing.
More
So
grapes at one time. Exactly 20 grapes in all.
Well, use your number line and maybe that will help you. Okay. Well, Emma, show her what you did and see if maybe you can help her. Let's read this again.
Jack ate 12 grapes at morning snack time and more grapes at lunchtime.
Okay, so what is this question asking?
Jack ate 12 grapes at morning snack time.
Okay, if Jack ate 20 grapes in all, how many grapes did he eat at lunchtime? So you know that he ate 12 during snack time. How many did he eat at lunchtime to get to 20? And
morning.
Jack ate 12 grapes at morning snack time. They have a morning snack time. Jack
I
ate,
thought it was morning and snack time.
no, Jack ate 12 grapes at morning snack time and more grapes at lunchtime. If Jack ate 20 grapes in all, how many grapes did he eat at
I
lunchtime?
have no idea.
So now see if you can figure. So he ate 12 in the morning, and how many more did he eat to get to 20? Okay, so see if you can figure that one out. How are we doing here? Okay, oh, very good. So where are you guys at? You're working on that one, okay. All right, boys and girls, let's see how we're doing here. Did everyone solve the problem? You solved it? Okay, very good. Okay, turn around so I can see. We solved it. Now I want you to share with your group how you solved the problem. Tanea, why don't you share with Tanea how you solved it? And Tanea, share. Go ahead and share how you solved your problems. You could let her share and then you can share. Okay, you could do it. Did you hear her, Krishu? So now, Krishu, share the way you did. Tejan, did you share the way you did it? Aiden, you need to pay attention. You need to focus here. You shared? Good. You guys shared? All right, now I want everyone eyes up here in 5, this group 4, 3, Tanea, Krishu, Jenna, 2, 1, 0. Look at this problem. I want you to look at this problem. Let's read it. Tanea has 10 toy balls. She lost some. Uh-oh. That's not telling us something. She lost some. Let's keep going. Now she has 6 balls. How are these questions different? Raise your hand if you can tell. How are these questions different? Jenna, how are they different? Krishu, pay attention. Okay, this one doesn't tell how many she lost. So I want you to see if you can figure out what this problem is asking. Tanea had 10 toy balls, she lost some. Now she has 6 balls. Can you figure that one out? See if you can go. Okay, show how you did it, Tejan. Not just figure it out, but show how you did it. Okay, let's see. What do you have? So go ahead and add these together to get your equation. Okay. So she has 10 toy balls. She lost some. And now she has 6 balls, but she lost some. She has 10, but she lost some. We don't know that sum part. So does anyone know what that equation might be? What is the equation? Don't tell us the answer, just tell us the equation. What's the equation? 10 minus what? Do we know that part? Something equals 6. Can we figure out what that something is? But don't just figure it out. Show me how you figured it out. Okay, go. Okay, write how you did it. Now write it on your sheet for number 3. Are we sharing? So, Did you guys share this one? How you doing? Where are you guys at? Okay. Good. Well, let's go back to number 1. Which one was that one? Can you show how you solved that? How did you solve number 1?
I counted the dots and all. I counted the X and all.
And then you got the solution. How did you solve it? What did you do?
I had a point to do the dot.
Okay, so you made a 10-frame equation. Did you guys solve it differently but get the same answer? Okay, very good. How are you guys doing here? Yes. Okay, let's read it together. Yeah. Peter has 20 baseball cards. Let's stop there. How many cards does he have? He gave some to Mike, and then he had 15 left. How many did he give? We don't know how many he gave to Mike, do we? How many cards did Peter give to Mike?
Cards.
That's okay. How many cards did Peter give to Mike? You have to figure that one out. Peter had 20 cards. He gave some to Mike, and then he had 15. How many cards did he give to Mike? Can you figure that one out now?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and try to figure it out. How are you doing, Chastity? Okay, let's do it together.
She's not saying nothing.
Okay, let's do it together. Is this the one that you're doing?
Uh-huh.
Peter had 20 baseball cards. He gave some to Mike, and then he had 15 left. How many did he have at first? 20. And then, and so what do we know? He had 20 baseball cards. He gave some to Mike, and now he has how many? We don't know. He has 15 left. So we have to figure out how many did he give to Mike to make 15? How many did he give to Mike to make 15?
But I'm trying to take away all the
Okay, so take away those 5. So you have 20 and you take away, and that is correct. You had the answer. That was it. You did that, and you took it away, and you saw that there were 5. So now what equation would that be? I will come back and help you. All right, guys, let's go to the next one. Okay? Okay, here we go. Okay, let's try something a little bit harder. You guys ready? Let's read it together if you can. I blew up 6 balloons. Later, I blew up some more. Now I have 12 balloons. How many more did I blow up? Do you think you can figure that one out? That's a different type of question. Tajon, pay attention. That's a different type of question. Let's all focus our attention up here. In 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's read it again. I blew up 6 balloons. Later, I blew up some more. Now I have 12. What kind of problem is that? Is that addition or subtraction? Well, listen to the problem. I blew up 6 balloons. Later, I blew up some more. So we have to figure out, does anyone know the equation right off? Does anyone know what the equation is right off? No? Does anyone, Tajon, do you think you know what the equation is? Go ahead and tell us, Tajon. 6 plus something equals 12. Can we figure out what that something is? Let's see if we can figure out what that something is. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Everyone, eyes up here. Everyone stop talking. And eyes up here. All right, how are we doing? Thumbs up if you feel like you are solving it and talking about how you're solving it. Okay, we are going to work for about 4 more minutes, And then we are going to stop and we're going to come together and we're going to talk about what we did. So let's go ahead and finish up for the last 4 minutes. Go ahead and work. Okay, go ahead. See if you can figure that problem out. Check your answer. Because if you did, Tejan, you did 6 plus 18 equals 12. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Okay, so 6 plus how many equals 12? Check your answer. Check and see if that's right. Go back and check your answer and see if you get at the same end. 6 plus what equals 12? Could you use a number line to figure it out? You want to use a number line to check your answer? Okay, check your answer with the number line and see if that's correct. See if 6 plus 7 equals 12. Does 6 plus 7 equal 12? Okay, how are we doing here?
We didn't do this one. We have to do this one. Oh, we got 5. Oh, okay. We're doing that.
Very good explaining. Do you want to share yours? How did we do here? Did we do a good job? Yes, exactly. So go ahead and put that in. Check yours with the number line and see if you did it correctly. Tejan, how are you doing over there?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you finish?
Yeah.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You are going to stop. You are going to put all of your materials in your bag and quietly and stay exactly where you, actually, you know what? Keep the sheets out and keep the cards out because I'm going to call on some friends to come up and share what they did. So put all the rest of the stuff in, but put your books in, but keep the sheets out and keep the cards out because I might call on you. And then you guys, I will collect these. Well, actually, you can take these back to your desk at the yellow team. You're going to sit at the yellow team. So quietly go back to the yellow team. Go ahead and sit at the yellow team, Aiden. Or you can pull up a chair right here. Aiden, you can sit right here. Oh, yeah, right there. All right. We should be seated. Everyone should be seated. One more minute to clean up because we're going to share out. So I want you to be thinking about some of the problems you want to share out. Who would like, raise your hand. Now you need to listen up very closely. Listen up very closely. Emma, put the paper away and listen up. Raise your hand if you would like to come up, you and your partner, to show a problem that you solved. You have to bring the card up though. So look for the card you want to bring up. You solved it, but you solved it 2 different ways and you got the same answer. You solved it 2 different ways, but you got the same answer. Nick and Andrew, why don't you come up? And I'm going to be calling on other people to come up, but I want to see if you're paying attention. So you're not touching anything. Come on up, Andrew. Nick. All right, let's look up at the screen. Andrew can go first. Let's read, boys and girls, let's read the problem together. and they're going to show us how they solved it. So let's go ahead and read the problem together. 3 pigs rolled in the mud. Some more pigs came, and then there were 7 pigs rolling in the mud. How many more pigs came to roll in the mud? All right, Nick's going to share his first. And okay, Andrew will share. Well, Nick, go ahead and share first, and then Andrew can share. Nick, what did you do? Everyone look at Nick's.
First, my illustration is 3 bubbles plus 4 bubbles equals some bubbles that are very. And my equation is 3 plus 4 equals 7. And here's what I wrote. I did 3 bubbles and 4 bubbles, and I got 7. I also did this before. I like its fun a lot.
Okay, so you did 3 bubbles plus 4 bubbles and got 7. Okay, very good. Can you show us, Andrew? Okay, Andrew, go ahead and show us what you did.
First, I did bubbles. First, I did 3 bubbles and then 4 bubbles. And then I know it's 7 altogether.
Okay, and then you wrote.
Like 3 plus 4 equals 7.
So then he wrote 3 plus 4 equaled and got 7. Okay, boys and girls, they did it. Did they do it differently or kind of the same way? They did it. They drew the same things. Is there anyone? Thank you guys for sharing. That was excellent. Is there anyone that wants to share and you and your partner did it you went about it a completely different way, but you came up with the same equation and the same answer? Philip and Ellie, why don't you guys come on up? Let's see, who's building their stamina while we're sharing? Who's building their stamina? Come on up. Well, why don't you guys do that one first? All right, let's read the problem together. Are you ready? I need everyone reading. Nick and Andrew, you need to be reading. All right, let's start. Tom had 5 toy cars. His dad gave him 3 more toy cars. How many toy cars did Tom have in all? All right. Ellie, why don't you show us what you did? Everyone pay attention so we can see what Ellie did.
First, I made 8. Next, I made 5 dots. Then I made 3 dots. Last, I got 8.
Okay, so she did her 10 frame, she wrote her equation, and then she told how she solved it. Very good. Philip, why don't you go next? Go ahead, Philip. Nice and loud.
First, I made
Pay attention.
8 10 last, I did
Okay, so last he did the equation, so he did it the same way, the 10 frame and then the equation. We'll take one more a pair. Very good job, guys. One more pair that wants to share. Maybe you and your partner did it differently. All right, James and Luis, do you want to bring yours up? Which one are you going to share? All right, come on up. Well, you guys did the 10 frame too, right? All right, you can share what you did. All right, let's read this last problem together, boys and girls. You ready? Okay. It's a little bit of the glare, but that's okay. My sister gave me 3 pencils. My brother gave me some more pencils, and then I had 5 pencils. How many pencils did my brother give me? Okay, show us what you did.
first,
Everyone listen.
I gave him 3 pencils.
James, can you start over? Can you talk a little bit louder? Go ahead.
First, I did 9 10 frames. Next, I put 5 in there. And I saw that my brother gave me 2. Next, I wrote
He said 3 plus he didn't know yet, the unknown, equals 5, and then he found out it was 2. How did you find out it was 2, James?
I did the 3 that my sister gave me and the 2 that the brother gave me. I figured out the brother gave me 2.
Okay, very, very good. Last one, guys. Last one. We're going to do our last one. Luis, why don't you show us what you did? Are we paying attention? Okay, so he did a 10 frame too. All right, we're going to stop. I need everyone's attention in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You guys can have a seat. All right, boys and girls, now we're at our now we're going to look at something really quickly. All right, I need everyone's attention up here. You need to ask yourself, did you meet the target? Next time when we meet, we're going to be comparing in our number stories. So we're going to add one more step and we're going to be comparing different number stories, comparing different things. But before we do, we're going to fill out our target. Did you meet your target? You're going to fill out the rubric you created. If you met your target, you will say, yes, I met my target. I am almost there or not yet. And then, did you build your stamina by staying on task? So go ahead, and I'm going to pass this out to each person, and you're going to fill out if you met your target. That's okay. Yeah, this is a new one. So go ahead and fill out if you met your target.
No, I didn't.
And go ahead and put everything into your bags. Good job. That's okay. You fill it out and tell me if you were on task. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So tomorrow we're going to build on our learning and we're going to talk about word problems that deal with comparing two things. And we're going to talk about those things tomorrow. So you guys did a good job. I want you to go ahead and put everything back into your bags and put all of the materials into the bin. And you can put your rubrics into the bags as well. And you may go ahead and quietly clean up.